We are halfway through to meeting the Sustainable Development Goals by 2030. The Secretary General has repeatedly said, and you also alluded to it in your opening remarks yesterday, that the world is off track from meeting many of the goals.
Correct.
So how can data and the use of data help to accelerate meeting the SDGs?
Now we are in the middle point to review our implementation for the SDG 2030. We have to recognize that now we are off the tracks. So when we do our very sober assessment and take stock, one fundamental question we need to ask ourselves and to find out a possible answer. That is how to accelerate our implementation to attain this 2030 agenda. So in this connection, we certainly believe that one of impactful initiative or one of the powerful instruments at the disposal of the UN and also at the disposal of all the member states, that is the data or big data. And we discussed very much how the data could inform and support the decision making based on the facts, based on the statistics, and also based on our best practices and also lessons learned. So basically, from this fora, after this, then we'll see that how is the gap in producing, using, and managing this whole data process. Because if we are going to identify those accelerators would help the member states in the second half of our implementation, then for data producing, data using, what is the best practice? What is the lesson we learn? And what is the gap? So that's why that I thought that over the past 1.5 days, you heard a lot from the participants. We all recognized the extreme significance and important value for this data producing and using. But still, we absolutely recognize that there's a huge gap between the countries and within the country. And then the most important thing, what would be the partnership? What would be the crucial steps to undertake for the next? Our biggest question that we need to answer ourselves after this forum.
So what kind of outcomes do you expect in terms of partnerships and towards accelerating the progress to the SDGs out of this meeting?
This forum is going to issue the Junhua Declaration. Several key elements of this declaration would ask for all member states or ask all stakeholders. Number one, that is partnership. Partnership means what? To me, it means that based on trust and based on a good faith, they would involve in the data infrastructure to get more investment and the data sharing and the data utilization. And then, of course, this last but not least, that's the capacity building from the advanced economies to the global south. So that's the partnership. And second, the key word is about innovation. So what is innovation? Now that we are gathering, we are producing the huge number of data, but how we could maximize this data to support the policy decision. That is
to better use the data.
Exactly. And also most important thing to me for this forum serving as a prime platform, it's not only limited to the governments, it's all stakeholders. Private sector, civil society, academia, media. It's not about the central level, it's about the local level as well as the individual. And also the other thing that I guess we need to think about it for the innovation, that is how effectively and efficiently we could protect the data privacy and data safety. That's a very common challenge for the government as well as for the individuals. So let's two keywords, partnership and innovation. After this, and we'll see that how the data could generate much more impactful changes for our acceleration to this 2030 agenda.
So basically better targeted policies based on good data and the use of good data.
Absolutely. The good data support to the policy decision and protection of the data.